Once upon a time, in a quaint little town, there lived a young boy who was visiting his grandfather during his summer holidays. These were precious times for the boy, because he cherished every moment spent with his grandpa. The two of them shared a special bond, and the boy admired his grandfather greatly. One sunny day, as they sat together, the boy turned to his grandpa with a thoughtful expression and asked, "Grandpa, when I grow up, I want to be a successful man. Can you share some wisdom with me on how to achieve success?" His grandfather, a wise and gentle man, nodded in agreement. He had a plan in mind to impart a lesson that his grandson would remember for a lifetime. Without saying a word, he beckoned the boy to follow him, and together, they made their way to a nearby nursery. Inside the nursery, the boy watched with curiosity as his grandpa carefully selected two small plants. One was a delicate sapling, while the other was similarly young but hardier. The old man smiled warmly as he held the two plants and said, "These plants, my dear, will help me illustrate the path to success." With the two plants in hand, they returned home. The grandfather proceeded to plant one of the young plants in a flower pot and placed it gently inside their cozy home. The other plant he planted outside in the garden. The boy, intrigued by this experiment, questioned his grandpa about the purpose of their actions. The wise grandfather explained, "You see, my child, the plant inside our house will be safe from any dangers. It won't have to endure harsh weather conditions or face threats from animals. On the other hand, the plant we've placed outside will be exposed to the elements, the strong sunlight, unpredictable storms, heavy rain, and the possibility of curious animals. Now, let's wait and see what happens in the future." Years passed, and the boy grew into a young man. During his summer holidays, he returned to visit his grandfather. Upon seeing his grandpa, he couldn't contain his curiosity and enthusiasm. He reminded his grandpa about the question he had asked years ago. "Grandpa, last time I asked you about the secret to success, but you didn't answer. Please tell me now." His grandfather's eyes twinkled with a knowing smile, and he replied, "Of course, my dear. But before I share the secret with you, let's revisit those two plants we planted a few years ago." Together they ventured to the place where the small plant had been nestled in a pot inside the house. To their surprise, the once delicate sapling had grown into a relatively small plant. It was safe, yes, but it had not thrived. Next they went outside to inspect the plant that had been exposed to the elements. To their amazement, they found a towering tree with branches that stretched far and wide, providing shade to passers-by. The tree had weathered many storms and faced numerous challenges, yet it stood tall and strong. The young man turned to his grandpa, puzzled but eager to understand the lesson hidden within this remarkable contrast. He asked, "Grandpa, which plant is more successful? Why has the plant outside, which faced so many difficulties, grown into such a magnificent tree?" The wise grandfather smiled and replied, "My child, the plant outside endured countless challenges and adversity. It faced strong storms, heavy rains, and the scorching sun. But with each challenge it grew stronger. It had the freedom to spread its roots as far and wide as it wanted, and that's what made it so strong. Today, it can withstand even the fiercest storms." The young man contemplated his grandpa's words, realizing the profound meaning behind this simple experiment. He asked, "But Grandpa, the plant inside was safe from all these challenges, yet it remained small and weak. Why?" His grandfather gently explained, "The plant inside was shielded from life's difficulties, but in doing so, it couldn't develop the strength and resilience it needed to thrive. It remained confined and weak because it didn't have the opportunity to face adversity and grow stronger." With a sense of clarity, the young man understood the lesson his grandpa was imparting. His grandfather continued, "My son, always remember that unless you face challenges in life, unless you embrace difficulties and struggle, you won't be able to achieve true success. If you always choose the easy and comfortable path, you'll remain limited, just like the plant inside our house." He paused for a moment before adding, "However, if you are willing to step outside your comfort zone and confront life's challenges head-on, no goal will be beyond your reach. Problems should not be viewed as hurdles, but as stepping stones toward success." The young man took a deep breath, letting his grandpa's words sink in. He looked at the towering tree that had once been a small plant, and the wisdom of his grandfather resonated within him. He realized that the obstacles in life, which often seemed like enemies, could, in fact, make one stronger and more successful. As he thought about his own journey ahead, the young man understood that life was full of challenges and difficulties. There would be moments of disappointment and discouragement. But he would remember this story, the story of the two plants. He knew that each challenge he faced was an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. The resilience and determination he would develop in the face of adversity were essential qualities for success. He was ready to embrace the challenges, for he understood that they were not permanent roadblocks, but temporary setbacks on his path to success. He stood there, looking up at the majestic tree, feeling inspired and determined. The challenges he would encounter in life would be his stepping stones to success, just as they had been for the plant that had grown outside. In our own lives, we often encounter challenges and difficulties that can leave us feeling disheartened and demotivated. But the story of the two plants teaches us not to be intimidated by these challenges, but to embrace them as opportunities to learn and grow. Much like the plant that faced the natural calamities outside, we too must confront the storms and rains in our lives. However, these challenges also provide us with the freedom to expand our horizons and become stronger individuals. We can develop the resilience and determination necessary to overcome obstacles and reach our goals. Of course, overcoming challenges is not always easy, and there may be times when we feel defeated or discouraged. But it's crucial to remember that these setbacks are temporary. If we learn from our experiences and continue moving forward, we can ultimately conquer any obstacles that come our way. So the next time you encounter a challenge or face a difficult period in your life, don't give up. Instead, embrace the opportunity to learn and grow. Always keep in mind that the challenges you face today can make you stronger and more successful tomorrow. Just as the plant that braved the outside world grew into a magnificent tree, you too can thrive and reach great heights by facing life's challenges head-on. In conclusion, the story of the two plants serves as a powerful reminder that adversity is not an enemy, but a teacher. It teaches us the importance of facing challenges with resilience and determination, for it is through these challenges that we can grow and achieve success. So don't shy away from life's difficulties. Embrace them as stepping stones on your journey to a brighter future.